part of the reason why we came out with this vault strategy and this vault communication is because, in my opinion, in the past, we haven't been transparent enough or forthcoming enough with consumers.
Well, and you've already brought up. I mean, this is one of the big questions that has hit the community here in the last week or so. Is you've announced the vaults of taking these games and sticking them in the vault and maybe producing them over the next 2 years, but they could be gone. And these are some big title names like Star Wars and Deadpool. I mean, these are number movers. What made the decision to put these games behind the wall essentially and put them in the vault?
So there's a couple of things there. One is part of the reason why we came out with this vault strategy and this vault communication is because, in my opinion, in the past, we haven't been transparent enough or forthcoming enough with consumers. We tell our dealers what we're doing, but then it kind of filters out to our customers about what we're doing and what we're not doing. And people make decisions about what titles are being manufactured or what titles are not being manufactured. And part of this strategy is to just be more upfront with people about this is what we're doing. This is, the time periods for which we're doing it. And after that, we'll sort of revisit these things. So when we looked through our portfolio, we were getting feedback both from consumers, but very much from our dealers that there were so many choices that it was hard for them to stock all the choices, have all the choices available. If a new pinball purchaser came in and here's like 20 some games for you to choose from, that was just really too many choices for them, and really needed to be more focused about what our consumers wanted, what our dealers could support, and have a more focused portfolio available. So for a number of these titles, it was time to rotate them out, give them some time to breathe, and not have people have to stock those or worry about those, so they could focus on all the new titles. I mean, we came out with 4 new titles last year. We can't just keep adding to the number of titles available. At some point, we've got to call out, and it had been a little time since we had called out. So I just think it makes sense for everybody that we both do that focusing of the portfolio as well as communicate exactly what we're doing.
Well, and this is just my perspective, but I feel like games like Deadpool and Iron Maiden and Elvira, these are all games that are moving a lot of numbers. What made you decide those ones versus like maybe Mandalorian or Black Knight or Rush or 007?
So sometimes it has to do with the licenses themselves, obviously. I mean, one of the things that we did put in our note to the dealers, but it wasn't really talked about as much, I don't think, in the community, is for most of the titles we're putting into the vault, the licenses are going to expire. So when we say like they're going in the vault for a minimum of 2 years, that effectively is going to put almost all, if not all, these titles outside the license time periods. And so if we were to bring any back, we're setting a minimum threshold of it won't be in the next 2 years. It'll be sometime after that if we were to ever do it. And if we were to ever do it, it's going to be based on the fact that tons of people are asking for it. And it's worth us going back and re-engaging with a licensor and saying, hey, people really want this thing and they want to be able to get new copies of it. So let's go revisit this kind of at that time period. So a lot of it has to do with the licenses. A lot of it has to do with where we are in production and sales and all of that. And, I think all of our titles are awesome. So when you have to call out, 7 titles or something, you're gonna have to call out some winners in that. But, look, it gives our titles some time to breathe. It gives people an opportunity to focus on all the new titles that came out this year. And we're going to keep bringing out great new titles next year. So there's going to be plenty for people to get. And I think cycling is just healthy for the community as we continue to bring out more new titles.
Did you like what you see? Do you want to hear more? This is part of episode 156. You can click on the boxes around my face, or you can go to our page, Loser Kid Pinball.